Now, we have the frame mounted, and what we're going to look at now is how to start. There's two recommended ways of starting to string a racket, starting in the center, and two different knots. So let's start off with the two different starting methods. First, as usual, we have to find the center point, which is here. So we place the string, which is 6 meters of monofilament, into the grommets, into the central grommets, putting the two ends together so that we just pull everything through and make it very, very quick. So now we have the two center mains threaded and ready to be tensioned. Now here is where the first choice is. Which way do we use? Let's start off with using one which takes a little bit of pressure off the clamps and uses a starting block as a protection. So here what we do is we use the block which goes in here. We put a starting clamp behind it. We place the clamp on the string just before the first curve, making sure that the clamp is adjusted to the right strength so it doesn't crush the string. So this feels fine. And now we release the tension, and as you can see, this clamp, the pressure has been taken off by the starting block and the starting clamp, and now we retension this part, and then again making sure that the clamp is adjusted to the right strength, which feels a little bit tight, so we'll loosen it a bit. And that is the first way of starting to string the mains. Now I'll show you let's say a normal one, another way of doing it. So let's just place the two strings in here. Take the starting block off, the starting clamp off. Take the two clamps off. Now with this one, all we're going to do is place the clamp directly in front of the first curve. We're going to use the starting clamp to back it up, which is just there, and we're going to release it, and then put the string back in the gripper and place this clamp on the string, and we've again started. This clamp here is basically as an insurance that if this clamp isn't tight enough and the string slips through, this will stop the string going any further and ruining the surfacing, which if it's natural gut, it's expensive, and it would mean you'd be stripping all the surfacing right in the center where everyone can see it, and you'd be ruining the set of gut. So it's a way of making sure that that the string doesn't slip, and you make sure that it's okay. Now here we just need to carry on. Here we've done the first three, and as I showed you before, we only do 3 to one side. Take the clamp off, come back and do the same 3 on this side so that the tension or the deformation is symmetrical. we've equalized the 3, and now I'm going to do 3 more this side, catch up on the other side, and then get down to the knots, which I'll show you. So we've seen the start and then we'll see the finish. These are now the strings that are coming down to make the knots, so we have to add the extra tension as I showed you. Holding the grommet in. Adding the extra tension on this and holding the grommet in as well. And now we're ready to do the knots. Right, we're going to start off with the Parnell knot, which is a half hitch, closing it, still leaving a little bit of a loop, and then coming back over to the other side of the anchor string, doing another half hitch, only coming up through the loop this time. Once we do that, then first we tighten this one, then the next one. The first loop is the important one. So what we do is we pull in and back, in and back, so we pull up the tension that is on the string outside of the frame, and then we just close it up gently. What we do is we then close it up, hold it with tension on it, so that the tag end of the knot is facing in the direction coming off the anchor string. Release the base, release the clamp, and we have a Parnell knot done. And then all we do is we cut the end, and then we use the back of the clippers to flatten it out so no one gets hurt with that. And now what we'll do is we'll do the other side with the pro knot. So here we're going to do the pro knot, which is a very good knot to use if you have less space. So what we do is we do the first half hitch and then we come back in from the other side. So basically we've done the half hitch and then slipped in from behind, which again there, we close the first part, We're going to take up the tension on the string outside by pulling it with a starting clamp in, and then closing it up, again holding with the pressure and releasing the clamp, and we have the pro knot done, which again we just need to cut and flatten out against the frame, and we have now, we've seen how we start and how we finish. We have a Parnell knot and a pro knot. So here we have it. We have the starting method and the knots. So we have two different types of starting and two different types of finishing. So that's how you do it.